So this season at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, we're doing a very exciting version of Pericles. The scenic designer Jan Chambers has designed this very abstract, watercolory set that sort of mimics the ocean, and one of the effects is going to use a giant silk ground cloth. So we had to dye the silk ground cloth to look like waves or churny green and blue ocean. Now if we're going to use silk, we can't paint it, we have to use dye. So we're in the process of figuring out how dyes react to each other, how the colors react to each other, to make this foamy, wavy, ocean-like effect. We made a little sample like this out of a small piece of silk, and we showed this to the designer to see if this was sort of what Jan Chambers was going for in her design. You know, did she like all the white? Would she like more blue? Is the blue too purple? That kind of thing. We decided to use a product called a resist, and we just put it on in sort of a brushy, spongy, like sort of the foam of the waves pattern around the edges, and put dye on top. And when we wash the whole drop, it should come off and still be that pure white silk. So the next step in the process is we need to wash off all the resist, but if we just put it in the washer, all the dye will just come right out because Procyon dye is just powder and water. So we have to use a chemical called fixative, spray the whole thing. We're going to do it twice just to be safe. And that will adhere the pigment to the silk. So when we wash out all of the resist, the color will be left behind. This project is really exciting because dye acts so much differently than paint. It's very exciting. It's a very unique project. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really exciting and new and different effect. So we're all really excited to see how this effect is going to play out in the actual play of Pericles.